I'm always doing something.
And we're live.
Awesome.
Hello and welcome to another Wellness Wednesday. We're back with Jessica Mohn.
Hey.
I think you were talking about school when we left off.
And I really apologize about last week. My phone died, and it's how life works in my world. So school. Okay, so let's see. I went through my bachelor's degree. I was working at the homeless shelter from 2013 during that time until 2018. So I was helping homeless during that time. Before I started doing my school, I was like, this is what I want to do. I want to help people. I mean, prior to that, I had this vision of starting a transitional sober living because I realized that at one point, like how when I came out, because I ended up going to prison for 2.5 years, did the boot camp thing. I think I told everybody that last time. Um, and when I came out, I didn't really have anything. And how many other people struggle, like during that time, like when you come out from the transition from treatment, jail, prison, whatever. And I kind of was thinking about a transition house with like pit bulls and parolees.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay. Yeah.
yeah, with animals. Because I believe in it. I believe that animals are really therapeutic. I think that they help change people's lives. Like having the ability to care and maintain while you're trying to transition yourself and do that in a slow process instead of making it bam, here, I got an animal. I want a puppy. Um, that's real life. Um, and so then I go to school, I get done with my bachelor's. When I was done with my bachelor's, I ended up working at the Whole Post for 5 years doing treatment counseling. During that time, I was like, I really honestly, to tell you the truth, was realizing and recognizing how many supports that women actually have. Like, to be honest with you, women and kids, they have a lot of different supports. So I was like, well, where is the need? One of the things that I was recognizing, I ended up working at the men's house and the women's house back and forth, and I was doing a lot in transition, and that actually helped me recognize the need for like single adult men or men with their kids, like, and how they don't have different services to help them get sober, like, and stay sober sustainably.
Right.
Um, so Okay, so I get out of school, I'm doing the treatment counseling thing. It was everything that I could dream. When I started going to do my associates, I had actually, so my background, I am a multiple career criminal, um, multiple felon career criminal. But I know that wasn't who I was. Like, that didn't define me. That's not like, just because I made bad choices doesn't mean that I should be condemned for the rest of my life.
Right.
And yeah, and that's true. Like, I was under the influence of drugs. Like, you change completely. Like, your mind is no longer yours, it is captive by some other substance.
Yep.
Um, so, and I grew up with that being a normal. Like, it wasn't like I had wonderful, great parents, or it wasn't like, and even if I did, I probably would have been a little turd and like been like, whatever, I'm not doing what you want me to do.
I'm rebelling.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I'm a little defiant thing, so I'm pretty sure that's what happened. And so, like, throughout my journey, like, and it became a way of life, you gotta eat a cheeseburger. I don't care what anybody says. Like, what are you gonna do? I'm eating a cheeseburger, and I don't care what that tastes. Like, that's happening. So, even though I wasn't eating anyway, it didn't matter. So, like, I get out, I go do the treatment thing with Hope House, which honestly was probably the best experience I could have had. Like, I went through that. a lot of learning like happened in those moments, like where even though it was challenging, it was hard. It's hard to be in recovery and be a treatment counselor. First off, I'm starting all these meetings, handing them off to other people, and then everybody in the recovery community knows me, so it's not like, oh, you can hide in the shadows. Like
Yeah.
everybody wants to, like, that's the thing is like you go into this LADC world, and like I think the thing that was the biggest challenge for me was like it changed me. I had to learn that I couldn't go to every meeting, and everywhere that I went, and which I think, in my opinion, like a William, opinion, um, is that like that's unhealthy. It's unhealthy for me to take, and where I have to limit, and for other people to not see me grow, to not see me change and inspire other people. That was what my whole program was based off of. Like, and I wasn't doing it for attention. I wasn't doing it for like anything other to be like, yeah, how can I help you? How do you help me? Like, what is that about? Like, community building each other. Like,
Right.
yeah, and that's real. And then they look at you and they say you can't go to these meetings, and I'm like, wait a minute, I created them damn things. Like, what do you mean? So that was really a hard transition.
That's got to be frustrating because you're like that. I'm just thinking about it like your sobriety matters too. And what if that's what you need for your sobriety and they're telling you you can't have that? That's fucking tough.
Well, and it was more like along the lines of they weren't telling me that I couldn't have it. They said if you need it, but be careful. Here's your beware. And then I didn't realize until towards the end of my program why, or until the end of working as an LADC why. Like, and then it was because I had an encounter with an individual that was challenging. It was a challenging, very sick, still staying sick, like
Yeah.
manipulative, and this person decided that they were like, I don't like what you have to say to me, even though what they were doing was wrong, and I'm going to turn you and put a report on you. And I'm like,
Ooh.
okay. I'm like, that's fine. I know I didn't do anything wrong, so it's not like I'm out here sleeping with clients or doing any of that craziness. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it was like I knew I wasn't gonna get, but it was still scary and it was still hard. Like it was hard to be on the other end where I was like, but I had great people that were like standing behind me. I mean, the therapist at Pear Lake fought for me, like during that whole process, like was writing letters and standing behind me. So like, there's a million amazing. So like that, like she was also the clinical director, and like she did a lot of things that like at the time I couldn't see either. Like so I had to experience that in order to understand like she had my back even when I didn't think she did. Because as an addict, like we get this person's gonna hurt me
Yep. Immediately. Immediately.
immediately, and they are gonna stand by me. They're gonna like throw me, and she didn't. Like, and I commend her for that because like I know I was not the easiest person. I know I have my own faults just like anybody else. Like, and I know it took a lot to teach me because even if I like would try to understand, like our minds get messed up, dude. Like they get distorted and they get like we get memory problems and we have all this stuff because it burns freaking holes in our brains. And
Yeah.
not trying to use it as an excuse, but at the same time, like I wasn't dealt the same hand. I wasn't dealt the parents that when I was going through school, it was literally like I felt crippled just by the pure fact of I don't know what the hell I'm doing. Oh, I'm
Oh,
sorry.
you can swear.
Okay.
Swear. It don't matter. Be you.
Okay. Okay, good. I'm like, oh shit. But so like I didn't understand like at the time like what it was really taking, and the things that along the way that even though they were challenging, like I was building myself, everything about myself. Like it gave me a piece of me that like even the fear like it helped. Like And it takes a lot to realize that. Like, as an addict, we have to take a step back. We have to think about these things, and sometimes that takes a long time. My brain don't go as fast as everybody else's. I know that. Like, and I had to really think about that. And as I was changing careers, was when I really, like, I looked at it and I was like, man, like, even though, like, I tried to put myself on both sides. Like, what was it like, dude? Even though she was pissed off, because I'm sure she was. Like, now we got a vulnerable, we got a report. Not that they don't happen all the time, because we're addicts and we push, and it's just what
Right.
it is. And it
It's
takes some of
easier to put it on somebody else than just fix those things about yourself.
yeah, exactly, exactly. Like, I want to blame you for everything under the sun, and it's like, oh, I wasn't doing nothing wrong, but whatever. But so, like, and like like the way it was handled might have been handled a little differently, or I wished it would have been. But at the
Hmm.
same time, it's like I'm grateful it wasn't, because it pushed me in a direction that I needed to go. Like, I was scared. I was scared to leave the building I was in. I had been there for 5 years. I was scared to grow. I was scared to go into something different. Like, and I didn't realize what I needed at the time. And I'm grateful because, and that's one thing about sobriety too, is like learning to be grateful. I have to be grateful every single day. I have to remember where I come from. Like, because if I don't remember, like, where I walk and where I come from, how am I supposed to help somebody else?
Right.
Like, I can't. Like, I don't read the books and get it the way everybody else does. But I can tell you that from experience, this is what it takes. Like, and one of my famous, like, quotes that anybody who has had me as a treatment counselor is like, you better be ready to cut off your left arm, because that's what sobriety takes. Like, and normies, normal people, they don't understand that because they can't. Like, they watch the struggle, they watch the challenge, because everybody's affected by this. This isn't just like a me problem. This is a us problem. Like,
Hmm.
it's not just you, it's not just me, it's the whole community. Like, if I had not come to Grand Rapids, like, I know that my walk would have been a lot more challenging. Everywhere else around, I have never seen a recovery community like ours. Like,
This is a great recovery community
it
by
is.
far.
And we're open to everything. Like, that's the thing, is like, and if you're walking into a, like, even an AA meeting, like, addicts want to be like, oh, well, they look at me different. No, they fucking don't. No, they don't. Okay,
No, they do
like,
not.
no, they do not. And, like, but that's the way we feel, because I remember feeling the same stuff, like, where it was like, they're looking at me different, they're telling me this. And I'm not saying some of the old timers aren't a little rusty around the edges, and like, but they did the same stuff too. They just
Right.
never got caught. Like, and I look
Did
at it,
wild shit.
yeah, that's real.
What
And I go ahead.
what you're so what are you doing now? Where are you working now?
Right now I'm currently working at North Homes and doing, so I do two different buildings. I'm kind of like that. I think my ADHD allows that to happen for some reason. But I work in the outpatient building, and I also work with the troubled youth in the mental health residential treatment center. So I do both. Like, and I actually opted to work at the old IJC, or the old juvenile detention.
Yeah.
So we're trying to revamp it into like a treatment center, a mental health treatment center. Um,
Oh, that's awesome.
yeah, it's super cool. Right now we're looking at different options for doing like sensory rooms and stuff for like kids with autism and stuff like that.
Okay.
And that hasn't been, announced yet, but that's what we are looking.
Well, well, you're live.
Like, I want people good. Come and support us, back us, because we need that. Because realistically, like, often what we're seeing is like, the troubled youth, like, it isn't, it's broken family systems, it's kids of addicts, it's the kids that, how else are they supposed to know anything different? And how
Yep.
to manage their emotions.
And there's got to be, not to bag on North Homes at all, but I went through North Homes. My foster home was through North Homes. And I kind of felt at that time that, they gave me a $50 check and sent me out the door. And it's like, what am I supposed to do now?
Right, what do I do now?
Yeah.
And back then, everything was different.
It's
Like
way different.
like the things that were, like, they didn't know how to deal with it either. Like, I'm not saying our system is perfect, because it's not, and that's
No.
anywhere. Like, that's everything. Like, our system is changing so much. Like, everybody stays stuck on this old way of, but even in school, the things that they're teaching are different. Like, how can we help you? Tell us what it's going to take. Instead of where before it was treatment centers were putting you in the center of the room and saying, you're a bitch, you're a piece
Yeah.
of shit, go to hell.
Right.
And now it's so different. It's like, how do we look at this individual as a whole? How do we see them as a whole person individually? And each case is different. Like, and it wasn't always taught like that. I mean, in the 60s, they let all the nuts out. I mean, come on. They did. They released them all. Bye.
Yeah. See ya.
Hey, go to the streets, figure it out. Like, oh man, dude, you just zapped their brain for like 20 minutes. What do you mean? Oh, I think about that. I'm very grateful. I actually, when I was in, like, still in active use, I was down in Faribault, and they have like an old insane asylum. And I actually went through it and went into it. And I mean, it's all run down and shut down and stuff. But it was so interesting to see some of the stuff that they had in there. Even still today, I was like, oh my God, this is nuts. Like cages they probably put people in. Oh.
Cages and they fucking zap ya, and I'm sure they still probably did lobotomies and shit like that back then.
They
Could
did.
you imagine? Oh, there's something wrong with you. Let's just take out a little piece of your brain and see how that
Let's
works.
take, right. Let's take this rod. We're gonna stick it up your nose. Don't scream. Don't scream. Oh, I'm gonna scream.
Oh my god.
That's real life.
So you were saying the other day something about a transitional house.
So currently, right now, what I just did was I believe in myself, and I believe in recovery, and I believe in dreams. So if you have a dream, like, you should chase that. And like, one of the things that I have had in my scope since I began this journey was to do a transition house. So I decided during all of the last, well, I've been working on it for the last 10 years, but so what happened was I was presented the opportunity to buy a foreclosed 7-bedroom house. So I had bought a house, my first house, like, ever. I never thought I'd get there, in 2019. And I recently just sold my house, and I'm about to close on it. Bought a foreclosed 7.
Oh, I think we're losing you.
Oh no.
Oh
Are you
no,
better?
there you are.
Are
Yep.
you better? There I am.
I'm here.
And I'm like, I'm here. So I bought this 7-bedroom house. I'm in the middle of oh my God, remodeling it, redoing it all. And I'm gonna turn it into a transitional sober living house by
That is
myself.
fucking amazing.
Well, oh
That
yeah,
is amazing. Seriously, lady. Like, you do fucking inspire people. Like, straight up. I know we haven't been like talky back and forth or whatever, but I always tell stories about you, and like, just you're I hope I can be more like you in another 8 years.
dude, you're here. Like, what are you doing right now? Like, everything that you're doing right now matters. That's another thing. Like, you have inspired many people along the way too, though. Like that's the thing is like this isn't just a me thing. Like I see have a hard time. I think that's probably my biggest flaws. Like I have a really hard time with not not accepting compliments. I appreciate it a lot. It actually means
Ugh.
a lot to me. But at the same time, it's like I know that it isn't just me. I know that along the way that so many people have stood behind me and have helped me, held my hand, watched me cry, watched me build, like have given me the tools that I needed, the inspiration. Like I was actually just talking to Iris today, actually
Oh, I
earlier,
love her.
I know. She was one of the first people that literally looked at me and was like, "You can do it." Because I was telling her my story at Community Connect, because I helped create the Community Connect event, like with all the
Oh,
agents.
you invited me with my CMA meeting when that was still running.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that was what. Yeah, I'm super grateful. Like, because all of that stuff matters. Everything that we do, like to help each other, matters. And people oftentimes won't feel like they're doing enough, or like even that moment when you smile at somebody across the street. Like most oftentimes when people see me, I'm smiling. Why? Half the time, I'm like, I don't know what the hell I'm doing, so I just smile and walk around, like whatever, I'll figure it out. But then the other half is like because I know that it helps everybody along the way, like, and other people have done it for me, like, and that is really what this sobriety thing is about. And the more people that we can get together and the more people that we can strengthen to become better, like our world becomes a better place.
Exactly.
And
Exactly, but it starts with you.
exactly. So somebody told me once, I remember this like it was God, I must have just gotten out of prison and they were like, one person can't change the world. I said, watch me go. I'm gonna do it. I don't care. And and it was only by the fact of helping build other people that I got the opportunity to stay clean myself. Like
Exactly.
I would not be sober today if I didn't have the opportunity to walk hand in hand with other people in recovery, and I know that.
You're gonna make me cry.
And like we are so I wish people could understand like how much that we have to offer. Like we're the most innovative, most smart, like creative people I've ever met in my life. Like that legit, like we have more in us. If we could take even a fraction of what we have done in our drug use, that power, and put it towards our recovery and like what we're doing in our lives and to make our dreams possible, and no dream is unobtainable. Because I remember believing like I was like if I can do it, like I want to show other people it's possible, because I never thought in a million years when I was standing in the senator's office and I was like, I don't care if I have an appointment, I'm going to sit with you and we're going to have a conversation. Like I will sit out here all day long, I don't care, we're going to do this because I believe in us and I believe in what we do and what we can bring. That's true.
Oh, I believe in you too.
Thanks. If we're gonna do it, just do it.
I don't know. Oh my god, why am I getting all emotional? It's
Because
ridiculous.
it's the truth. That's what.
It is the truth. Oh my god. You really are an amazing woman, Jess.
Thanks. I appreciate that. I really do, because some days are hard, and some days I cry, and some days I'm a fucking mess, and that's the truth. And some days I don't think I can do it, and then man, one thing that always like keeps me going is like I remember where I was at the end of my day, like, and I was ready. I had a gun in my hand. I was ready to commit suicide because I could not stop using drugs. And I tried so hard. Like, I'd be sober for a day, eat everything in the house, be puking because I'm eating too much. Like, you can't handle this no more because you haven't eaten in a month and a half. Like, but I didn't care. I was starving, for everything.
Right?
That's
Well, you're
real.
not anymore.
No, dude, we're cruising.
Well, you got anything else you want to add? I think that was a pretty good.
I just want, like, I think if you're having, I think probably one of the things that I want to end with is that I hope that if anybody gets the opportunity or if they have a chance, like, how about the next person? And if you're struggling and you need somebody to talk to, or if you can find me, or if you need a project, because I know what that's like too. I need a freaking project. I'm around. I'm available. Find me, seek me out, whatever you got to do. Somebody knows who I am.
Absolutely. Well, yeah, absolutely. Pay it forward. That's
Yeah. And
that's one
share
of
the
the
story. Everybody share the story because I think it's going to be great.
yes. Well, okay. Well, I think that was a good show.
Yeah. It's going to be
Um
great.
even though it was just 25 minutes long, but that's okay. We don't have to talk all night. My daughter continually keeps walking by and like she's like talking to me with her hands and stuff and like mouthing words and I'm just like go. You don't
Oh,
even want to talk to me when I'm not talking to somebody else.
yeah. That's so real. Well, that's just the attention thing. She's like, dude, I'm here. And
Right?
you're like, you're here all the time. I
Exactly. All right. Well, you have a good night, Jess.
All right, you two be
Thank-
good.
Oh,
Keep
yeah, I will. I'm going to do a living room workout because I didn't make it to the gym today.
Good job, girl. You get it.
You have a good night, lady.
You too. I'll let you know and keep you updated on this as I go through my project.
All right. Sounds good.
All right, I'll talk to you later.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed that. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the hell out of it. I really, really, really love that woman. She is a great human being. And, you know, when I started doing this, it was because I wanted to show people, like, kind of get rid of that stigma of addiction. Like, we're not all worthless. We're not going to be the meth head or the crack head or the alcoholic forever. You can become better. You can do better for yourself. And don't ever let anybody shame you into thinking anything differently. Tell them to get fucked. But anyway, yeah, I think that's about it for the night, guys. And thank you for tuning in, and we will see you next week.
Maybe the next step in your healing journey is to go around calling people fucking cunts. That is all for today's therapy session. I'll see you next Tuesday.